Check 1 2, check 1 2. Miami on the rocks, Casey Chops. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at MIA on the rocks. Follow us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Today's guest got the homie Desi Does It in here. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You good? How you been?
I've been really good, busy, but all good things.
I've known you for a long time. I feel like you've done so many different things. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, whoa, do we say influencer? Like, how do you feel about that word?
I don't have any problems with it. It's if you got a problem with it, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's not on my.
So you're influencing things.
Yeah.
Because, you know, back when I met you, you were doing some events, right? And then you've kind of dabbled in everything.
I've done a little bit of everything. When I moved to Miami, it was 2010. And a lot of people think I was here a lot longer, but I used to live in Orlando. Before that was in New York. But when I was in Orlando, my dad lived here in Miramar. So I would come down often, so that's why a lot of people think I'm from Miami.
And you worked at Play, right? Back in the day, you worked at the club.
Where I met you was Club 90 Degree.
Wow.
With Good Life Miami. Like, that's how long ago. So I moved to Miami to go to college, really for a guy who was living here. It didn't work out like 2 weeks going here. And so I lived in Miami. I didn't know anybody. And so I went on Twitter and I started typing like Miami clubs. And I was like, I should be a promoter. You know, let me just try to make some friends. And then that's when I came across Good Life Miami. I ended up meeting some of them. And they were like, sure, we can have you promote at Club 90 Degree. I'm like, great. Don't know anything about promoting.
What was that like when you pulled up to that shit? Because, 90 Degrees, bro, for the people that don't know, like, that block where Space is at, like, that
Very
shit
sketchy.
was like, yeah, bro.
What was the place next to it?
Nocturnal.
Nocturnal.
That was the first club I ever DJ'd
Yeah.
at. Then you had Space, and I was just like, I started my ratchet career. That's where I started my ratchet, you know.
Like, thank God I came across good people, because the first time that I went to go meet with the Good Life Miami team at that time, it was like in one of those warehouses in like Doral, Hialeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, yeah, come to our office. I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, from there, then I started promoting at Dream, and then Dream on Fridays or something like that. And then that's when I started getting the job at Play on Fridays. So
that was like the golden era of like Miami.
I tell because a lot of people still don't know about Play, or obviously don't know from it. But I was like, that was Live on Sunday, it was Play on Fridays.
Yeah,
you know?
that was crazy. I had Simply Jess in here, and she was going over all those stories like on the beach and just how everything kind of changed now. Like, everything's different.
Yeah,
but
for some people it's the same. Some people you still see them doing the same thing, which is crazy.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the city? Because you've been here 10 years already. So how do you feel about the evolution of what it's become? Like, just because we follow each other on Twitter, and I see we talked about the housing market right now, and they raised the rent on you and shit, and out of towners are moving in.
I have mixed feelings about it because a lot of the out-of-towners are my friends.
Oh, shit.
So like I know a lot of people from New York that have moved down here, especially during the pandemic. So I have mixed feelings about it. I'm glad that people are able to take that upon themselves and move somewhere that can help better and more improve their life. I just think that we need to hold our government responsible to make sure that the people who have been here and are from here are supported.
What do we do? Like a New York thing, like a rent control thing, like how my boy has it in Williamsburg. Like he lives like the people next to him pay like $5,000 a month, and he still pays like $2,000 a month because his mom's been there for like 30 years.
Yeah, it could be rent control. I mean, there's so many things that I feel like the city could be doing, even when it comes to a lot of tech companies flocking and coming to Miami, which, again, I'm kind of biased because I also work in tech. So I'm glad to see that the community is growing here, but then it's not growing for our community.
What's crazy is that I was kind of for that, and I was actually just listening to a podcast about a bunch of DJs from San Francisco, the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, talk about how the tech scene completely destroyed the culture over there, and it doesn't even, like, Bay Area culture doesn't even exist anymore. So now I'm like, damn, bro, if these guys come over here and just like, like water down the culture, like...
Yeah. Like everyone's like, oh, Miami is going to become the new tech hub, but it's just the people from there that are coming here. It's not like tech opportunities are being given to the people from Miami. It's just like being brought over.
It's like
from
that, just the
somewhere
city
else.
of Miami, like that small, like midtown, downtown, South Beach, Brickell area. It's not like Hialeah.
And most of the people who work in tech work remotely anyways. So it's like, why do you need to come to Miami? Just stay where you're at.
Thing. Like they're allowed, like working remotely from the laptop is like getting normalized. So now all the New Yorkers are like, yo, let me just do it by the pool in Miami. And like,
So say that to say that that's kind of where I've been. I've been from the club side, from like not knowing anyone in Miami to now I've been here for 10 years, and it's been a
I had like an epiphany. I was like, yo, I've just been so tired of like all the fear mongering like on social media. But I thought to myself, I'm like, bro, when a hurricane comes, I'm gonna make it seem like it's the apocalypse, bro. I'm about
like
to
for the first time, we gotta take it serious.
Yeah, like now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to fear monger for my interests now. Like, yo, I'm gonna make it seem like I'm gonna start sharing videos of Brickell like underwater, how it was like 3 years ago, and.
I mean, some folks are going to be in for a rude awakening because they're not used to any of that.
Or a summer. Like, I hope the summer's just hot as shit this year. And, you know, like...
Yeah.
But it's so funny. Like, I go on your social media, and I've told you this before. I'm like, bro, Des, you have a voice for, like, media, for, like, radio, for voiceovers, for whatever.
Yeah.
You have, like, a soft-spoken, like, calming voice. You need to, like, am I the only one who's told you that? Like,
you're not the only one that's told me that. And funny enough, I come from a line of DJs and people in music. So my grandfather was on radio in El Salvador. Okay. My dad was a DJ. And when I moved to Miami, that was one of the things that I thought I wanted to do. And not to put blame on anyone, because, you know, things happen, but I met a guy that had worked in radio, and I was like fresh 18 years old. And I won't say that I was like super stupid, but you know, like at that age, you're a little naive. And he's like, yeah, like let's link, we'll talk about whatever. And I won't say that he took advantage of me, because I like brought myself there and I was like willing to participate. And I was like, oh yeah, I like him, he's fun. But now I look back, I was like, I was fresh 18 and he must have been like mid 30. You know, in my head, now I look back, I'm like, you're gross.
Yeah.
And I think that looking back at that experience, it was just like, I feel like if anything, you can see that across multiple industries. But if anything, you're gonna see that a lot in the music industry and a lot in the radio industry, whether it's just men trying to take advantage of women. And I was also a singer at the time, not a singer. I can sing still. My voice hasn't changed, but I think being in similar situations where you're going to a studio and you're like, I can tell that things are going to be...
This guy's trying to like sell you a dream for like, And you creepy producers, you stop doing that shit, bro.
And sometimes I think like, damn, like where could my life have taken me had I not been scared or like easily put off by the energy of the men in the situation. And I think that's when since that was all
Does that come from something or no?
I don't think it comes from something. I think it's just, remember, I was a new girl in Miami. Like I didn't know anybody besides the guy who I had moved here for. We didn't end up working out. So that's when I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on my school and focus on marketing and focus on things like that. So I kind of gave up my dreams of being involved in music.
You should make like a little demo tape. I'll help you, bro. Like I could see you could do anything from like reading audiobooks to like, bro, that'll like calm the shit, you know, or just like, you know, like give you like a script to read. We need to find you like and send it to like car commercials or something. Like, you know, like just like put your voice over like a waterfall, bro. And I'll just like be like, I've
been thinking about doing that, especially social media, like TikTok taking off. You know how a lot of people will use a similar sound. So like you'll hear the same sound on multiple different videos. I'm like, damn, I should just start writing some scripts and reading these sounds. And then like everyone around the world starts using that sound for their videos.
And you've been narrating, I've been seeing your videos. You've been doing like the narrating vibe over like because you say you work in social media now. That's kind of what you're doing now. So talk about just, you know, what that entails right now.
Yeah, so working in social media, you basically have to figure out how to do the same thing a million different ways, because if not, your audience is going to get bored. And I think that if I wanted to stay consistent with creating content on social media, I had to take my face out of it in certain occasions. Because realistically, I'm not doing my hair every day and I'm not doing my makeup every day. So the days that I do that, I'll film content and maybe I'll knock out 5 videos that same day. But then when it came to the voiceovers, I was like, okay, I could go to a restaurant and be in the moment still, enjoy dinner with my friends, take, you know, videos of the restaurant and the food that I'm eating, and then later just do a voiceover.
Later produce it up and do it.
Exactly. So that was a big fear that I have, is working in social media. I didn't want to lose being in the moment when I'm with people that I enjoy, you know? And so I feel like the voiceover was just a really smart move, because I'm like, I don't have to look good. It can just be whatever I want and do it later on.
The beauty of like radio and shit, but now everything is video. So it's like, damn, now I gotta like, you know, but I mean, you say you work in social media, right?
Yeah.
Like, so what do you do exactly? Like,
yeah, so I'm a senior social media manager for a tech company, and basically we make software. It's like an internal Facebook system for your employees, and essentially the thought process behind it is many companies will pay an influencer, or they'll pay for Facebook ads before they tap into their own employees to make content. So, for example, if you did a sponsored post, maybe it doesn't do that well, but maybe you have 1,000 employees. Each one of those employees are probably connected to 500 to 1,000 people on LinkedIn. So why don't you just give your employees that content? They share it to their network, and it's probably going to perform better than a sponsored post. It's all about making your employee the influencer. So with that being said, I promote their product on social media, and I do everything from creating TikToks, creating videos, which is crazy to think that that's a whole career. But yeah, managing their LinkedIn,
you juggle
Twitter,
all the social media. Like, it's such a mission for me. I hate that shit, bro. I want to pay someone to do it for me because, like, Instagram, I don't have I have a TikTok, but I don't use it. I need to use it. Just it's too much. Like Twitter, you know, like.
I mean, I focus on LinkedIn, Twitter, a little bit of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Why LinkedIn?
Because they're a B2B company, so they promote to other businesses, and that's where the majority of those businesses are going to be. Yeah.
Got you.
But what's interesting enough is I'll create a TikTok video, and maybe we don't have a lot of followers on TikTok, so it doesn't do that well. I post that same video on LinkedIn, and it performs really well because there's still people on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I feel like that's things, like there's certain things that like will go, because like my viral content on IG, I'll try to bring it to Twitter, it won't go viral, or TikTok, it won't go viral. And certain things that work on Twitter don't work on IG. It's weird. Like, it's like, you know?
And no one is ever going to figure it out. Like the times where I think that I've got it all down, and then I'll post something else and I'm like, this flopped, didn't work. Just got to like keep going.
What people tell me is that TikTok is what gets you the most organic. Like if you're a nobody, TikTok is where you have the chance to go viral. Like, you know,
and it has to do with a lot of things. It has to do with the sounds that people use. So for example, if you put a song on TikTok and you make a video from it, I can see the sound and I can click on that sound and I can see all the videos that use that sound. So you have a higher chance, I feel like, of going viral on TikTok. But I also low-key feel that that's that platform's like strategy right now. Like they want you to feel that like serotonin of, oh, this post is doing really good. So I feel like, I don't know, I have a conspiracy theory that like TikTok just wants you to do well. So like they're just giving you these views, man, because it's crazy over there.
Yo, my screen time is embarrassing.
I try to set like the.
I do, but
limits,
I don't
always
do
like
shit.
Ignore.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. Like they're like, yo, you're a crackhead. Get off this shit. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, and it sucks because I work a lot. I do a lot of work on IG. You know what I'm saying? But I get caught in the scrolling. You know, and I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I wish I could just separate, find a way to just like not scroll and just put my main timeline somewhere else and just. I don't know, bro. It's
I try to like set not just times of when I want to pause, but like intentional. I had taken one like social media break between jobs, and I was like, okay, I'm for real like not going on social media. And every time I wanted to pick up my phone, I had to ask myself, what are you expecting to see? So like if I want to pick up my phone to check my email, I'm checking my email.
So everything's with a purpose.
Exactly. So if you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, what do you want to see? Do you want to see one person? Do you want to look at outfits? Do you want to look at inspiring content to, you know, get inspired for your own podcast?
Yeah, but see, you're not a man too. It gets because then it's like, oh shit, ass, fuck, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? I need them to make an app that like can like scan butt cheeks and take it off. Like I want a butt cheek blocker, bro. Like I'm on some shit where any girl that got their butt cheeks, whether it's a bathing suit, whatever, I'm unfollowing you. That's what I've been doing.
You
like,
could probably make that. You could develop that app.
Hey, you're in tech. Talk to your peoples, bro. The butt cheek blocker.
Butt cheek blocker.
Yo, because you girls, you know what you're doing. Like you're playing with men's fucking like dopamine system and shit. Just the way the tech companies are.
The
like
algorithms, you know, like I could post a picture of me in a bikini and immediately it just does well. It doesn't matter.
What is like that for women? Like that, like makeup? Like I'll see Sephora, you're like, oh shit. Like what is like?
To be honest, it could be other beautiful women just as well. Like, I know for me, I'll be like, damn, this girl looks beautiful. Like, I don't look like that. And it's like, you go into that internal battle of just still being sucked into it.
Bro, I'm on that shit. I think I'm on, and I try to justify it because like my laptop is basically my phone too. So I do all my work on my phone, but it's like I'm on my phone like a third of the day, bro. A third of my day I'm asleep. A third of my day I'm on my phone, and a third of my day I'm looking into the world.
I mean, I try to justify it too. I'm like, oh, it's for my job. Like, I'm trying to get inspired and find ideas. And then after a while, I'm just like, what are you doing? And you can feel it. Like, you feel your soul being sucked out a little bit when you're just like, this has been.
And I'm wondering if it's starting to like affect my vision? Because I'm noticing my vision getting worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm gonna need glasses soon. And because remember when we were growing up, it was like, bro, why are you so close to the TV? Like,
Yeah.
yo, you know what I mean? Now it's like we put that shit in our face. Now they're making goggles where there's gonna be screens. Like that cannot be good for your vision. You know what I mean? Like,
I had LASIK before, and so I have 20/20 vision. My vision's great, but my eyes are dry as hell because I'm just always on the damn phone. Or like I'll have triple screens. I'll be in front of the TV and I'll have my laptop in front of me and I'll be on my phone. Like, why do I need 3 screens?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
That's crazy. I mean, I need to like, I know you could do the screen share, but I need to be able to look at my phone on a big screen further away from me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, get my addiction off that way instead of like having this shit. I'll be like this for 8 hours like this. Like,
Yeah.
it can't be good for you, you know?
I think at least one of the benefits of being a social media manager is that I do get to kind of set that time. So I know, you know, at 9 o'clock, I'm logging on, I'm doing this, I'm organizing, I'm posting content. Normally, I feel like the posting times are increasing, like getting earlier now. Like content's performing better if you post it.
So you have it like system, like a system, like
Yeah, I have a whole content calendar both for personal and for work where I'll have it organized by status. So I'll jot down all of my ideas. I'll have the things that I need to shoot and the things that I need to edit because I like to bulk create content. Like I said before, like I'll record 5 videos.
Put it on the vault and then like roll it out.
Exactly, because you're gonna have those days where you don't feel like recording, so then I can have my batch of content that I need to edit or that I need to write captions for.
And then with women, y'all have to like get done up and shit too. So to do that every day is like OD.
Exactly.
You know?
So I would rather pick like 1 day a week to do that.
So what are the time, like what do you see, what trends do you see as far as like when to post and like what's working the best right now? And you said it's getting earlier, like
for my audience at least. So it really all depends on the audience that you have. And if you are using, for example, Instagram and your analytics, you can see when your audience is most active. The key is not to post when they're most active, but to post right before. So if you have a spike at 12 o'clock, you want to maybe do a post at 11. So that way when your audience is active, they have a better chance of seeing your post. And that time can change just based off of the followers you have, where they're from, et cetera.
as far as like day of the week, does that matter? Do you see that? Like, is it better not to post on the weekend? Like,
no, I don't think it matters. Like when I look through my days, they all seem to be pretty consistent. I've been on like a hyper focus since this year started, where I've been posting like 6 days a week. Wow. And even as like a manager, I mean, I do that for work, but for personal, I never used to do that. It was like, I was like 2 days a week, 3 days a week, just because I was like,
I mean, how do you feel about like your frequency in posting? Like, how should one do that? Is it?
I think it depends. So many things go into account. I'm doing that frequency right now because I really want to set my Reels game up. Obviously, TikTok is huge. Reels is only going to be prioritized when it comes to Instagram and that video content. So I want to keep churning out that content just to see what my audience likes. That I also feel like anyone who has a platform, in a sense, you serve your audience. For me, I never wanted to be an influencer that was just a pretty face that only posted content about myself. I want to post content that you could even learn from. That you're like, oh, Desi mentioned this about creating content. Let me save this. Like, that makes sense. And so it doesn't always have to be that serious. Every now and then I could post a hot photo or whatever, you know, like it doesn't always have to serve your audience, but I feel that I make the best content when it's purposeful and it's serving someone else.
Got you.
So that's why I've been making a lot more reels and trying to figure out what does my audience gravitate towards. Because like sometimes I'll post hair videos thinking I have a bunch of girls who follow me. And then I'm like, no, they actually like when I post more social media related content. And that has changed over time.
Got you. Yeah, I've always been conflicted because I like my Instagram to kind of look like my business card. So like, if I have something, I don't know, let's say I interview J. Cole, and that's like 4 rows down on my Instagram timeline. I'm like, damn, I want that to live at the top still. Yeah. It's almost like I wish you could pin post to the top. Like they should do that shit. You can do that on TikTok, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that soon. Okay, yeah. So then I'm like, damn. But then when Reels came out and they made it a different tab, I'm like, okay, I like that I could post a Reel and then take it off my main, and it'll still be on the Reels tab. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe I'll do Reels with a high frequency and keep my posts on my main feed at a low frequency. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to
I feel like people don't really utilize Instagram highlights anymore, like the story highlights. I see that everyone has them, but I don't feel that people maintain them. So, for example, that article or the interview you have with J. Cole, if anything, which I love J. Cole, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, you could always make that a little highlight, and that could be one of the first things that people see on your page.
Well, I did something, and no DJ has copied me yet, which I think is dope. Is I took all my drops that I got from when I worked on radio, like, yo, what's up, it's J. Cole, you listen to Case Each Other, and I made each. So I almost made like my highlights like a soundboard, and it has a picture of each artist, where it's like, yo, what's up, it's 2 Chainz, and you click, you know what I'm saying? But I've had that for like 5 years. The same thing hasn't changed, you know? Yeah. But I've been thinking like, damn, maybe I should switch it up and maybe just put all the drops on one thing and then like utilize my highlights in a different way. But
and that's the thing with social media, you can always repurpose content. Like, for example, if you have a full video, and I'm sure you know this too, you have a full video of something that you put on YouTube, that could be 5 different posts. Granted, you're doing different guests and you're having a high frequency of people come in, but in the event that you don't get a guest that you get to interview or a new episode that gets to go out, you have tons of content that you could still chop up and share on social.
That's a whole nother job in itself. I'm looking for an assistant right now to go through all my old podcasts and make clips from it and do like a, but yeah.
Funny enough, I get a lot of people who want to hire me to do their social media. And then like when I go into like everything that it really includes, they're like, maybe I can't afford that. You know, like the time that it actually takes, and everyone knows that it takes a lot of time, but they just think like, oh, I could just pay someone $100 a week. And I'm like, this is for like a full time. This is a 6
I mean, how like what I was gonna ask you. Damn, I mean, we don't have to go over like prices and numbers, but like how like if I wanted to pay someone to do my social media, how many hours a week do you think that job would entail for them?
That what I always say is it depends. Are you giving me the content or do I need to create it?
No. I'm giving you the content.
Okay. So for example, I had a customer reach out to me and they're like, we have nothing. Like, we want you to make the TikToks. We want you to make, that's a whole other, like, now I got to do the time. But if you're giving me the edited clips of this podcast, maybe I need to chop it up and like make little things. You could probably...
And you would handle, and you could find someone to do this for all your social medias, right? You give them the TikTok, you give them the IG, you give them the Twitter, and you just give them the content, and they'll purpose it everywhere, and I don't know, maybe engage with the audience here.
Yeah, the good news is that there are a lot of scheduling tools that you can use for auto posting your things. It's not working, or I don't even think it's implemented yet for like Instagram Reels, where you can schedule a Reels. That's more for just like actual posts, and Twitter posts you can schedule. So yeah, it really just depends on, do you need me to create the content for you, or am I grabbing the content already and you want me to get your captions and schedule and maybe engage with people every now and then?
Got you.
So,
got you. Okay.
Social media, it's an exchange. It's not just you posting. You're also going to perform better when you're commenting on other people's stuff. And you're liking and you're sharing their stuff.
So you believe in like responding to every single comment?
I respond to comments the first 30 minutes that a post has gone live. Okay. Because what essentially happens specifically on Instagram is you share a post, and depending on the engagements that happen to that post determines does it get opened up to a wider audience.
Right.
So you respond to your comments right away. It's engaging. It's going to, boom, open it up to more people.
Right. My boy was telling me that you kind of want to have like more comments than like the minutes that of your post have been up. So like if your post been up for 5 minutes, try to have more than 5 comments and try to like...
I try, and it also depends on the quality of the comments. Like people that just put heart eyes, like that's not really gonna...
Does IG know the difference between that?
Like, it does, because if someone types a longer comment, they're spending more time on your post, which tells Instagram that this post is valuable. Yeah. That's why, I don't know if you saw a trend where a lot of people started doing super long comments. It's because they wanted, or sorry, not comments, super long captions.
Oh.
Because they wanted that person to spend more time on their post. The more time spent on your post, the more people it gets opened up to. It's a whole mindfuck.
Yeah, it's
so ridiculous.
I mean, we're gonna be living in the metaverse anyway soon. Yeah. I'm about to get someone just paid $400,000 to live next to Snoop Dogg in the metaverse. Ridiculous. I'm about to get a metaverse girlfriend. Like I'm over all the reality is about to be finished soon. Like these new kids, like all their formative experiences are happening online. They're meeting their first girl online. They're going to school online. They're playing video games. They're going out Friday night online. Everything I'm about to open a club in the metaverse, DJ in the metaverse. Like
the only thing that I don't get is like, why would I spend money on something in the metaverse instead of in real life? Like, why would I spend money on a Meta Birkin if I could just spend that money on a Birkin in real life.
Because what if everyone just cares about the metaverse? What if everyone's going out in the metaverse? That's what I'm saying. Your NFTs are going to be like your outfits.
Am
like
I going to go to dinner and nobody's going to be there because they're too busy in the metaverse and nobody's going to see my outfit in real life?
Yeah, because you got to go to dinner in the metaverse. That's what I'm saying. If everyone isn't, when you're the only thing real, you're the only thing fake. When you're the only thing in real life, you're going to be alone in the real world. Like, what do I do now? Like, everyone's in the metaverse having fun and shit, like, what I see, it was like a caption. What is on Shade Room? I think there was like a story that leaked that some girl filed a police report because she got sexually molested in the metaverse. And I'm like, wait, how does that make sense? Did he like take out his metaverse dick? Like, I don't understand. Like, what happened? Like, bro, people, I don't know, bro. I'm not ready for the.
Yeah, that's a whole. My boyfriend works at Meta. Funny enough.
What? You got the inside scoop?
Not really the inside scoop, but we just have these conversations all the time, and he's always trying to like not play devil's advocate, but he's always like, everything's gonna shift and everything's gonna be meta, and I'm always like, but what about in real life? Like, why would I buy a pair of sneakers in the metaverse if I could just buy those sneakers in real life? He's like, but you don't understand.
Because the point of buying the sneakers, I mean, this sounds a little vain, but it's true, right? The point of buying the sneakers is so people could see them, right?
Yeah.
So if everyone's in the metaverse, that's why these kids buy Fortnite skins, bro. Like, everything is about.
I think my biggest beef with all of that is there's still going to be accessibility gaps. Like, the poor people in real life are still not going to have the same access to things that rich people would in the metaverse, right? Like, eventually, how they say, oh, in the metaverse, you can watch a game courtside. There's going to come a time where there's going to be a difference where that's only going to be accessible to a certain group of people, and the people suffering in real life are still going to suffer there.
Yeah.
They can't even get an Oculus.
But I don't know, because so we're living in a time where like maternal love is prioritized over paternal love. So everything is about, since it's very women feminist, that's like our environment now that kids are growing up in. Colleges are 75% women right now, 25% men. So everything really is about how you feel and your emotions. Yeah. So you go to the metaverse and say you're insecure about how you look, you could literally just be someone else in the metaverse. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like, now it's all about how you feel, because it's not about telling people the truth anymore. It's all about your feelings now. You know what I'm saying? And
I also think my other beef with the metaverse is we talk about like AI and what's the word? It starts with a C. Crap, I can't remember it. C.
AI, artificial intelligence, C, what, like not crypto?
Not crypto. Basically how all the people who are engineering these things, they're probably all white men. Okay. So there's still going to be like imbalance.
Racism in the metaverse?
I think there still will be, like, not necessarily in the metaverse, but like technology, for example, like police are using facial scanning technology that's recognizing a black person as a criminal when they're not, just because of the people who are actually engineering these products.
Yeah, so but you could be whatever skin color you want to be in the metaverse. You could pick what you want to be in the metaverse. I can have a hairline in the metaverse. I'm hype. Yo, I haven't had a hairline my whole life. Like, you're gonna give me a hairline in the metaverse? Run it. Like, and then
that's just a whole
dudes that are 5'3" can be 6'3" in the metaverse. Everyone could just be themselves, be who they want to be in the metaverse. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, so okay, so you say you got a boyfriend, so you're not out here having to be in this dating market because it's rough out here right now.
I bet the times that we have broken up and I went out and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah,
I'm not liking this.
You hear like from your homegirls and shit, like it's.
A lot of my homegirls have settled down, but like the ones that haven't, they're like, it is terrible out here. And I believe it.
It's tough.
I believe I've had some bad dates when I was single.
These new young girls, bro, it's crazy. Like they're openly, a lot of them are openly like, these new young, I don't know if you notice it, but like these new young girls, they don't even care about men anymore. Like they're not even, because their pool of men is so, like how I said, like it's mostly women that are advancing in their careers now. So it's like, and these women that have careers, who are they going to date? There's a small pool of men that they could date. This large pool of women can date. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. Like, I don't know. I don't know how the dating pool is going to look.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not having to deal with that. But I know that times that I did, I was just like, what is going on? Like, they say common sense isn't so common, but it's just like little things where like, man, these men are grown, and I still have to like tell you how to communicate. Just, you know, the basics.
Well, they're, like I said, it's like an over feminized environment, so they're just being coddled and they're fit. You know, like I can't. Oh my god, I can't wait to have a son one day. I was watching my boy. Shout out to Freezy, Flow Riders manager. I follow him, and it's crazy because I've watched him like basically raise his son on Instagram from like, since he was born all the way to now he's like 10 years old, you know, and he's playing.
And like you feel like you're a part of that because you've been watching it.
Yeah, but I just love how like he's raising his son to be like a young man. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping him like in sports and keeping him around, just like, you know, like, and he's keeping him sharp in school and you know, the kid. I don't know, like he just, I don't know. I can't wait to like raise a little warrior one day. Like, bro, I can't.
A little warrior.
Yeah, no, like that. That's just, you know, like, because it's just, everything is so soft and like coddled right now that I don't know. Shit. So what else has been going on with you? Any? Let's see. You're not in the dating market. You're out here. You're tied down.
That's why sometimes when people talk to me like, "Oh, you're an influencer. You must have so much to do." I'm like, I'd be boring. Like, I work from home.
What do you do? What do you do for fun?
For fun, I like to go out to eat. I like to like listen to live music, you know, go out a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. You do have a dope taste in music. What are you listening to right now?
What do I listen to? I think the staple in my catalog is Selection. Every Sunday, do you listen to Selection Radio?
No.
On Apple Music?
No.
They're basically a collective.
But there's a venue that someone put me onto that. Is it in Wynwood? There's a
They performed at a venue in Wynwood, but they don't actually. One of the, I guess, the creators of the collective of Selection, he did tweet that he was gonna have a Miami residency potentially this year, and so
put me onto that because I'm not familiar.
Yeah, so Selection, they just do a lot of like R&B style, hip hop,
so it's a group.
Fusion. It's not necessarily a group, but it's like a collection of DJs. So like Sango, Joe K. God, there's so many of them.
So it's a collection of DJs that play at venues, and their style is like R&B.
Yeah, R&B, hip hop. You can even hear like Brazilian music in it. You can hear just so many different styles of music.
So they don't really have a style. It's just like,
yeah.
So exactly. What makes them so like what?
It's like if you were in SoundCloud era where you were like always discovering like new hip hop sounds and like dope R&B sounds from like artists that maybe weren't super mainstream, more on like the indie side. That's what.
Okay. So you listen with a progressive ear. It's interesting you say that because like when I DJ the masses, right? Because you're definitely not the masses. You're a small group of people, but like the masses want to hear things that are familiar to them, right? Same thing. It's the same approach you take. It's the same approach that radio takes when they play music on the radio because you're appealing to the masses.
Yeah.
And what happens is I always say DJing is kind of like you want to do two things. You want to entertain people and educate people. So people want to be entertained with familiarity, and then you could sprinkle in like those things that are unfamiliar that, you know, because people really don't go to the club with the ear to like consume something new and digest it. But
that's what Selection's audience is. So like during Art Basel or maybe sometime before, Joe K, which is one of the founders, he did a 4-hour set at 1-800-LUCKY. And like that place was packed of people just being put on to new music. Like, and you would take out your Shazam and it's not being found because, and then later on he'll release it on Apple Music and on SoundCloud and be like, here's my 4-hour set. And then you're like, wow. Then you start.
And he'll put the track list, like, and it's nothing is on Apple Music. It's
some of it will be like eventually, but like there are some tracks that maybe they just mix individually that they.
Are there any like notable artists that you?
Oh yeah. They'll do a ton of stuff. They'll do like Outkast, Aaliyah. They'll do still a bunch of
dope B cuts from like back
exactly like the deep like you're searching in crates to find this stuff. So that's the music that I gravitate towards, that I listen to on a consistent basis at least. But I love all music, and to be honest, learning how to DJ has been on my mood board for like 3 years now.
I'll put you on. It's so easy.
Yeah.
I'll put you on. It's easy.
I feel like I have the knowledge of the music. I just need like the mechanical aspect of it. But I feel like I would be a really good DJ.
Yeah, bro. I'll teach you. I feel like if you're a female DJ, bro, it's like a cheat code.
Yeah.
Like, and then if you're like dope at the same time, like. But I always talk to my friends, like, you know, that's kind of like one of the topics, the common topics that DJs talk about now is just the cycle of music and just how everything is. New music isn't sticking, like people aren't making good club music anymore, like high energy stuff, like, you know what I mean? So nothing is really sticking anymore.
Like
it's all disposable.
That hasn't happened. Like the peak of club music for me was like 2013-ish era, like Meek Mill, I'm a Boss. Like,
right.
the Dreams and Nightmares, like the bottle popping. Now
I don't know if you know, Des, and you ever been in the club, but they're still playing Dreams and Nightmares for the Confetti song. It hasn't changed. Like, I don't know if you know.
They still are, but like that to me was like peak club, or at least for my age, which I'm gonna be 30 this year. But yeah, I don't feel like those type of tunes are happening anymore. So you're just being stuck playing the same old stuff.
That's why the Latin shit is lit. Because the dembow shit is like high energy club, and like the Dominicans are killing it right now. Like they're the only ones really making good club music, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, even when I was in college, I was always the person on the aux cord, like playing stuff at house parties. And before my name was Desi Does It on social media, it was Desi is Dope. And when I wanted to do like a little internal rebrand, I was like, I want a name that I could do anything. Like I don't want to be put in a box. I don't want to be a hair influencer or a fashion girl or whatever. Sure. Like Desi Does It could be a DJ. Desi Does It could be an author.
You make playlists?
I could literally, I have a ton.
Yo, you gotta send me some shit.
I have a ton of playlists.
Because R&B is what I listen to like recreationally, like because I'm in the club amongst straight like madness. That like my piece is expensive. Like I need, you know.
So maybe if you ask me next year, what do I do for fun? DJing will be for fun.
I'll put you on, bro. I
also low key want a hobby that I don't make money off of. You know, because one thing about me...
then you will make money off of it.
One thing about me, I can keep a job or like 5 jobs at once. I know how to make money, just doesn't matter what I'm doing, I can find a way to make money. And sometimes I feel like I just need a hobby that gets me away from the social media, gets me away from...
That's what this is, bro.
Everything, you know?
Everyone's like, yo, what's the plan for the podcast? I'm like, bro, I just want to be away from a screen, and I like talking to people, bro. And whatever comes of this, because that's what happened in my DJ career. Like I was in music and DJing just because I love it. Yeah. And then the money will come. You know what I'm saying? Like if you start to think of like what's the goal and the plan, and just do what you love, bro. Yeah. And do it with a passion, and then before you know it, you're gonna look up 5 years are gonna go by, 10 years are gonna go by, and you'll be like, oh shit, I'm making money from this. And I don't even realize it, you know?
Yeah, like I grew up with my dad, crates and crates and crates of records. Wow. So for me,
he was a DJ, or he was?
Yeah, he was a DJ in New York. So that's
what did he play? Like soul music, like those old.
He played a lot of freestyle.
Oh,
yeah, like that style. Fire. So a lot of freestyle, a lot of Spanish music. But yeah, I think I was always just raised like that, and I'm like, man, that would be great for me to learn.
Yo, freestyle music is. It's like
a lost art. Like it's like don't hear it.
The thing is, even when it was popping, it was only like a New York, Miami thing, really. You know, it was like a Puerto Rican vibe. You know, like. But yeah, you don't really get that a lot. My freestyle crate's dope. Like DJ Laz and like the old Miami dudes, like they would, bro, they would play freestyle crazy. And
that was one of the things when I moved to Florida from New York, and I would hear sometimes I was like, they play freestyle here on the radio. I'm like, y'all know what freestyle is?
Yeah, bro, that shit is. What's your favorite freestyle song?
Maybe like Spring Love, Stevie B, Dream Boy, Dream Girl. You know. The classics. Yeah, Stevie B definitely.
I want to be the one, Stevie, bro.
I want to be the one. And love that song.
Someone tried to sample that. Some of those records need to get sampled.
Yeah,
and re-sung.
Need to be revisited.
That would be fire, bro.
And they always seem to do like those freestyle concerts, like
bro. I was just about to bring that up. Have you been there?
I have,
bro. They're like old as shit, like singing.
I was the youngest person there for sure.
Bro, it was like I saw who was it? Like Cynthia, I think I saw. I was like, bro, she's like 50 already, like.
But that's also why I feel like I gravitate towards R&B, because even though R&B is not like it was back in the day, you can still hear good voices, and I feel like that takes something, at least rather than like in rap, like
and they could play like it doesn't require them to dance or like do youth. You could recreate your music that you did at an older age, and you won't really notice too much of a difference, you know. And
it like just R&B truly is classic. Like I listen to Maxwell's first album all the time. Like I'm going to see him in concert in like 2 months when he comes down here, and I'm just like, for me, that's an album that's been out since when I was born.
Yeah,
anything, you know, and I can still just listen to it over and over.
How did you feel about Mary J's performance on Super Bowl? I thought she did pretty good.
I was hyped because I'm from Yonkers, and Mary J and her sister used to babysit my mom, so I was very hyped.
yeah, no, that was fire.
Yeah.
Plus plug your social media first of all and all your...
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily working on anything specific. I think I'm just working on my own content. Like, again, I mentioned a lot of people always want to hire me to do their social media. And I'm like, no, I would rather just focus on my own stuff right now. So yeah, I'm Desi Does It on all platforms. And I really just try to make content that can help someone in some way, shape, or form.
Let's do a quick 2-minute drill. So I'm going to ask you rapid questions.
Oh, Lord.
And don't worry, we'll keep it PG. Okay, let's see. My bad. Let me find this. Okay. Red wine or white wine?
White. Rosé, actually.
Tequila or Hennessy?
Tequila now, but the old me would have said
the club play,
the
club dream Henny was a, oh my God.
Double cup.
Tough. Shower or bath?
Bath.
Lipstick or lip gloss?
Gloss.
Ashanti or Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced coffee.
Short nails or long nails?
Long.
Bad Bunny or Ozuna?
Oh, that's so hard. I'll go with Bad Bunny.
You gonna go to the concert?
One way or another, I'm being there. I don't know how yet, but I'll be there.
Those tickets are crack.
I know.
Appetizer or dessert?
Dessert.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Love or money?
Love or money? In what sense? I guess love.
Fashion or music?
Music.
Beamer or Benz?
Benz.
Condo or house?
Right now, I say condo, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think, everyone would be like, yo, you can't raise a kid in a condo. You should live out west, like Doral, Pines area, and have a yard and shit. But I met a girl the other day that was raised in Brickell.
That's crazy.
She's from Brickell. You grew up in the she grew up in the building in Brickell for 30 years.
That's so crazy. I think I own a townhouse, so I kind of have a middle ground in a sense.
Yeah. In Broward or?
In Broward, yeah, in Miramar. And so I think they say you can't raise a family, but I could raise.
In a townhouse, I think you could. But I'm saying
in
a building.
But I'm in a condo, I could still have a baby up until 5 years old. I don't really need a whole house for a baby.
Right, but why? Because I think New Yorkers live in big ass buildings with lobbies and shit. So why can't you raise a kid in this building? You know what I mean? Why?
Yes, home ownership is great, but there's a lot of responsibility that comes with a whole house. So
yeah, it's a fact. Skiing in Aspen or parasailing in Puerto Rico?
I'll say skiing in Aspen because I haven't been to Aspen.
Would you rather do the laundry or the dishes?
Dishes.
Order in or eat out?
Eat out.
Series or movie?
Series.
Marriage with no kids or kids with no marriage?
Kids with no marriage.
Girls are into that now. I feel like girls just want to have kids and they don't even care about the dude. They're just
yeah. I mean,
I've heard women say that I just want to. I don't even want a man. I just want to raise him single.
For me personally, I never wanted marriage until I met my partner. But even then, and he knows this, I never believed in one person for you for your whole life. I don't think that there's one person that's going to satisfy.
Now this is a topic we just opened up. So you don't believe in monogamy?
I do.
Okay.
But I don't also. So what I believe in is that no one is ever going to be anything. And whether you're in a monogamous relationship or not, you kind of know that. You know? You can ask a couple that fully believes in monogamy, does your partner satisfy every single thing? And if they say yes, they're fucking lying.
Yes. See, okay, this is a great, because I feel like we're lying that's one of the issues, that we're lying to women. I mean, to women and men, but mostly women, thinking that life is going to be a Disney fairy tale. Prince Charming is going to just, but then you bring that up to where one person is not going to satisfy every single need that you have. You know what I mean?
Everyone knows that. It's everyone knows this, but no one ever talks about it or admit it.
Really, yeah.
And I think that's.
But men admit it. But to hear a female admit it is interesting.
I mean, I feel the opposite. I never hear men talk about it, but I hear more women talk about it, if anything.
Really? Mm-hmm. So women are of the belief that they can't. Nah, because I would think that most women just want the one. right?
Maybe they want the one. Everyone might want. Wanting is one thing. The reality of can one person give you every single thing that you want is just not true. You know in some way, shape, or form that a relationship is compromise, right?
Right.
Compromise is at some point giving up something that you want to compromise with the other person.
Okay, so I have a question. Can you lay out maybe 5 categories of the things that you would need from each man, I guess you would say? Or like what?
I think not necessarily each man, but like say you're in a relationship, for example, my love of music, right? Mm-hmm. Say you're in a relationship with someone that gives you everything that you want, but they don't have a love of music like you do. Mm-hmm. Are you not going to be with them?
So
they gave you great sex. They support you.
Right.
They do everything. They're great with your family. Are you
Right.
not going to be with them because they kind of don't fulfill? But for me, music is a huge part of my life.
right, that has to be, there has to be a connection musically.
So even if it's not sexually, but if there was not a man that I do connect with on music, is that wrong? Is sharing music in some way, shape, or form not a form of intimacy? Like,
right.
That's what I'm saying. One person is not going to give you everything you want, and it doesn't always have to be about sex. It could be just about things within your personality that you don't connect with.
Wouldn't that connection through music eventually trigger like a sexual thing? Like, what if it's someone that, you know what I mean? Like that, because it's intimate, like you said, at the end of the day.
It could, but then it couldn't. You could see other aspects in them where you're like, what if that's a deadbeat father? And you're like, I would never have anything with that person, but we vibe on music, you know, like that's.
So that's why I asked you to say, because like, okay, so say there's the music category that needs to be fulfilled, right? Mm-hmm. There's the sex category that needs to be fulfilled. What other categories need to be fulfilled? Like,
I think the way that I think of it.
Okay, go.
Is in relationships, we don't really think about it, but we always want opposites. We want someone that's going to give us security, but we want someone that's going to do exciting things with us. We want someone that could be serious, but we want someone that's going to have personality and be fun. So like, how is it that you want all these different things from one person, and you have to say, if you do X, Y, and Z for me, I love you. But if you do one thing outside of that line, I don't love you. Is that what love is? Mm-hmm. Like, to me and my boyfriend, we have grown with each other. We're childhood friends. Mm-hmm. So we have grown with each other. And when he grows, then I got to meet him and love him there. When I grow, he has to meet me and love me there.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm loving you for who you are right now, and the minute you change, I don't love you anymore.
Right.
That, to me, is love. You know? And so I think that a lot of people have the mentality now where they're like, they'll be with someone for a long time, like, oh, you changed. Doesn't everybody change?
Right.
Like,
right.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do as humans, is evolve and grow? So that's kind of where my thought process of monogamy comes from, is because, yes, I do believe you can have one partner for life. Mm-hmm. I don't think one person is going to satisfy your every need for your life. Right.
So my question is, if you have these different people to supply different needs, mm-hmm. which one do you go to procreate with? Maybe
the one that can show you that that's what they're going to be good at, you know, like the person.
So is it the one, because this is interesting now, because most women are chasing whether the alpha male, they're attracted, they want that top 15% of men, mm-hmm. right? And that top 15% of men are getting most of the women, right? Mm-hmm. What is it about? So would you rather procreate with the person who, and a lot of times that alpha male may not be a good father. And I think we've seen that before. Women go right for the male who's not. So do you procreate and get the seed of like the alpha male who turns you on, and then what? You go to the other guy to raise him? That's almost like a cuckold type thing, like
I think it depends on like what your true needs are. Like for me, I know when it comes to me having a baby, mm-hmm. like I want someone that is present. I want someone that's gonna be there and like have emotional intelligence.
So you want the person who has your kid to also be the father of the kid, like the main person you're with.
Yeah, and I think I've seen that in like conversations that I've had with people. You can have a primary partner where that's your person that you technically marry, you have your baby with, you raise your kid with, and then maybe they have other partners for other different things. And that's not to say that other partners are sexual, or that's not even to say that I do that, because that's not even my exact situation. Right. But I just think that I've read a lot of books and like podcasts on it, and like back in the day, they say like it takes a village.
Right. Yeah. Tribe. Yeah.
But like now we want one person to be our village. And to me, that just never made sense.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right. It makes sense. And see, I mean, to be transparent with you personally, for me, I'm in a position where I want to have kids like really, really bad right now. And I am a man who worked his way to be able to have options. Like, so my dating pool is, I go on a lot of dates and I'm constantly screening women to see, you know what I mean? But my list is maybe because I'm like, I want to find the one. And like we just discussed maybe the one, there's no such thing as the one.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm in a position to now where it's like, okay, there's got to be sexual chemistry. And then with that just alone entails so many different things within that.
Yeah.
Then we got to be able to talk and have a conversation, right? Then I've made it like, you know, like I've spent the last 6 years of my life like becoming fluent in Spanish. So like she got to be Latina and she's got to be able to speak to me in Spanish. Like that's important to me.
Yeah.
Then you have the musical connection, which is super important to me too. Then you have, you know, are you going to be a good mom? Like, are you going to raise my, you know, did you come from a good family, you know?
Yeah.
Are you inspired by art and like moved by literature, like with words and the way I am with words? So and like
say you met someone that had everything but the literature part. Is that not good enough to have a baby with?
Right.
You know?
So then it's like there's a girl who I'm cool with and we talk a lot, but she's not Latina. So it's like, damn, I go on a date with her and I don't want to like, I'm over like I don't want to like lead women on. I've never really done that. I will tell you the harsh truth over a comforting lie all day. So I come to the point where it's like I could sleep with her, but I don't even want to sleep with her because I don't want to be an asshole because I'm going into it knowing that it's not going to be anything outside of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think just having the mindset of like no one is going to satisfy all your needs takes off so much pressure.
No, it doesn't. Because then how do you pick one?
Not only that,
who's going to be the mother of my child? That's
not only that. You find someone that fits all your needs, just like we said about change and growth. You're gonna grow, and you might find another thing that you're super passionate about that person may not satisfy. So then what? What are you supposed to do? Like,
right.
I just think that if you find someone that has the foundations, like, do they respect you? If it comes to having kids, like, is that going to be an active mother? Do you share the same values, the same like core values, you know? I think things like
right. So like if she's could be a good mom, and then I like to dance. I like to go to Típico and dance salsa bachata. Like, but if she doesn't do that, and then if I go out with another girl that does that, it would be wise for her to like accept that.
So for example,
but like, I think a man is going to try to sleep with that other girl. I don't think
maybe, yeah. But like for example, my boyfriend, when we had went to Puerto Rico, he's not a dancer, you know, and he was like, Des, go dance with other people, like please. And I was like, no, it's okay. And he's like, please dance. Like we're here at this nice ass like fire club. Everyone's like salseros in there, and he's like, go. So it's not about finding the partner that has to do everything, but are they comfortable with you still exploring those sides of yourself that they maybe can't fulfill? You know? Yeah,
but Des, I think 90% of women don't think like this. Like they're not gonna be the one that like the opposite. Like, are you gonna be the one? I mean, you will like go dance with her. Like if the positions were flipped, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of women, like you see someone dancing intimately with your man or your girl, you know, it's gonna be triggered.
I just think it's all about. You would be surprised how many women have started to change their mindset, especially the later into the dating game that they get, because they're also starting to realize maybe I'm not going to find the person.
This Disney fairy tale doesn't exist that I want. Like,
you know, so as long as you're giving me the foundations of the things that I need in a relationship, then we can figure out the rest. And I think that's what partnership is. That's what love is. I'm not saying I love you right now. I'm going to love you for whatever you decide to change and grow into, as long as our foundations is still set.
Okay, so I have a question. There's a guy's dating two girls, Brenda and Amanda. He told Brenda that there's Amanda, but told Amanda that she's the only one. Who does he love more?
That's not really like a fair question.
What do you mean?
I don't think it's who he loves more, because despite what many people think, I think you can love someone and still lie. Like, as fucked up as it sounds, I just think
I mean, I've said this before, but in some cultures, the concept of deception and lying, if you're protecting someone with the lie, it's not considered lying.
It's like, I'm protecting you, so I love you, but I just think that's full of shit.
So you would rather know a harsh truth than to be protected with a comforting lie?
Yeah. Or just, I mean, it also depends, right? Like for me, if I were to be in an open relationship, I don't need to know nothing.
Okay, so you
Don't tell
would,
me nothing.
Okay, yeah.
But that's because I'm saying that.
Gotcha.
You know, it depends on the person that you're dealing with. For me, as long as our relationship is good, our household is good, you're there for me when I need you, and you're not running off. I don't care to know anything. Just
go to Colombia once a year for your birthday.
Have fun.
Yo, I need to find someone clone. Yo, Des, if you got any friends, you let me know. You know what I mean? Like, what, I don't know. I need to wherever you guys have your meetings and shit. Like, let me know.
I've also been in a relationship or been with my partner for around 11 years.
That's crazy.
So
11 years.
And we're not even married. So I think a lot of people aren't even at like marriages for 11 years, my age at least, you know?
I mean, it might be safe to say since you've been with your partner for 11 years that you're probably going to be part of his life forever, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But like, I think because we've been together that long, I'm in no rush to get married. We talk about it all the time. Like, I'm with you. Like we're not going nowhere. We're together. So, you know, it takes, back to what I said, taking a lot of that like expectation and that like just heaviness off and the pressure off. It's just, you get to actually enjoy your relationship. When you take the pressure out of shit, you can really enjoy just.
So what do you tell women? Like, what advice do you have for women? Like, as far as like, you know, like.
It's hard for me to give advice because I have a unicorn, I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm here like, yo, I'm listening to you speak. I'm like, bro, if you put like another Dominican girl right next to you, bro, like your shit is not going to go well.
But you know what? Like, even with my girlfriends, we've had this conversation, and like the first time that I've discussed something like this, they'd be like, oh, I could never do that. Like, I'm crazy or whatever. Like, I could never be in an open relationship or anything like that. And then later on, they'll come back to me and be like, so Desi, like, what was that book that you read? This thing? Like, it kind of sounds interesting. And I'm like, oh, cool, interesting, you know?
That's funny.
I think my advice is just determine the things that you can't teach someone and that like you can't mold them into, in a sense, right? Like,
ooh, you use the mold word.
Mold.
I say you got to manipulate women before someone else does. Or else her girls are going to manipulate her. You got to manipulate her because her girls are going to manipulate her. Like, you got to do it first.
But for example, like when it comes to like what can you teach someone, you can maybe teach someone to be more spontaneous. You can teach them to plan things or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. But like you can't teach them how to like make you laugh, right? Like how to have like good, funny conversations.
Okay,
right?
so my question to you is, can you teach the sexual aspect of a relationship?
Yes and no. I think, and I feel like that's my answer for everything. And I'm not normally that type of person, which is interesting. I think
because a lot of people say yes, and I think no.
I used to think no, and then just going through, I've been to almost every type of therapy. I've been to regular therapy, sex therapy, because I'm just very interested in just being better as a person,
right?
And learning whatever it is I can learn. There are a lot of tactical things when it comes to sex that people can truly learn. And
I agree, the tactical things, the technical things, I agree.
But sometimes it's things within yourself that like maybe as a woman, you're not connecting with this person, but reality, you have some things that you got to work through to allow that connection. So it may take work, but
see, my thing is a big part of sex is passion. And I feel like you can't teach someone to be passionate. Yeah. You can't teach someone to like, that electricity you get it with some people, and some people you don't get that electricity, and some people just don't have that like passion, that like and I feel like you can't teach that. A lot of people like you could teach them in there. I'm like, no, if I kiss her and I don't feel that electricity, I can't teach her to give me that electricity.
Yeah.
You know?
So then if that's the non-negotiable for you, like I need to be someone that I have that electricity with, then you know that's your non-negotiable. But then what happens when that fades out? Which sometimes it does. What happens when, you know...
I think if a woman is orgasmic, that's a trait that she has. She's always going to be orgasmic.
But maybe she's always going to be orgasmic, but she may go through phases where she's not. Like, say, for example, you guys have a baby together, and she has postpartum depression, and that shit lasts for a year. Are you not riding with her throughout that year because she hasn't had that spark and that passion?
No, I'm riding. I know I'm definitely riding with her. If she had the passion before, I'm not riding. Like...
But that's a lot of men think that they're like, I need to find a girl that does this thing for me. And I'm
right
like,
now,
right now. And I'm like, that's great. And that's probably going to entertain you. But you're probably going to go through times where that shit might not be around for a minute, you know? And you have to be prepared. Am I willing to love this person through that without that passion? So say you settle, or not you settle, say you choose the person with the most passion, but then doesn't have those other foundation things that you need. When that passion is gone, even if it's momentarily, are you happy with what else they got?
Right. It gets complicated. That's why it's like, I think I'm just going to have to be single. You know, like it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and now these young girls are openly bisexual. So like these girls are like, Des, I went through my whole 20s, like a regular guy. And then now these, like, when I was 23, I was hooking up with 23-year-olds. When I was 26, I was hooking up with 23-year-olds. When I'm 28, I was hooking up with 23-year-olds. 30, it was always the new 23-year-olds that just came out. These girls that just dropped, these new girls that just dropped this, they're openly like down to have threesomes. Like because they're bisexual. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's something I've definitely noticed. Like,
yeah, but I also think that comes with the realization of, again, maybe not one person is going to give you everything that you want.
Right.
And maybe they're finding things in women that they're like, if I take these pieces of the woman, these pieces of the men, I can have the ideal relationship.
I think it's in best, guys, men, if you're listening, I think it's in your best interest to just, I mean, for me, I know that time is on my side because as time goes on, there's just going to be more, like less and less like alpha men that could like hold down a whole fort and be tall and be in the gym and be fit. And these girls are going to be down to share men. I'm telling you, that's going to be the trend I see in 5 years. Like these girls they would rather share a poppin' top 15% guy than to be with a guy who's just playing Call of Duty and a beta male who makes, you can't, because women are tired of living in their masculine energy with a guy being his roommate. But when they see a guy that could handle shit, take care of shit, you know what I mean? Like women would share that guy.
Yeah, you know? But on the flip side, a lot of men don't want to share women, which I find funny.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening.
And that's the thing. It's like you want to set a standard, but then you can't kind of take a dose of your own medicine.
No, because I'll take care of you. Like you're going to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So
I have a guy friend, right, where he wants to have an open relationship, but just on his side. He wants to be the one to be open because he pays for the rent and he pays for their vacations and he pays.
Well, it's whatever's. It's all negotiable, right? Like so, whatever. If you don't want it, then and if it's not fair to you, then don't accept the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like don't accept. But so here's the thing. Like she doesn't want that, so now he just cheats on her instead. And I'm just like, what? Oh, man. You should be a therapist. You thought about that?
I've been to enough therapy. I've learned if I didn't know enough, then I would be ashamed of the amount of time I've spent.
Yeah, damn. Well, Des,
it's great for everyone.
I appreciate you coming through. One more time, plug all your social media for everybody so they can follow.
Desi does it on all social media channels.
Yeah, but you got to spell it out, right? Because it's not...
D-E-Z. I'll do it in my best.
Oh, yeah. Yo, we know. I'm about to have you read like a...
You can find me on all social media platforms at Desi Does It, DEZIDOESIT.